Hey guys, welcome to a video, a video that I never thought I wanted to make or thought I should make. But I said, "Fuck it, let's do this." I'm gonna get the truth out there about everything about how I lean politically, and I think maybe this can get you guys to understand what I believe in and what I think is right and what I think is wrong, and who I stand for in certain things and certain ideologies and stuff. And it's a very fickle thing and it's a very difficult thing to talk about stuff like this because people judge you solely on your political beliefs. And you shouldn't judge someone just on their political beliefs. You should judge them on who they are as people. Are they good people? Are they respectable people? Do they respect people's cultures? Do they respect your opinions? Do they not try to change who you are and stuff? Also, you befriend people based off like taste and what your likes and dislikes are and stuff. And what are your values in life and stuff? And what do you want for your life? Those are the important things. Politics isn't everything. It isn't. I follow it, and yeah, in some aspects it is very important because it's about our countries and our people. And something bad has happened lately to the United States, and I'll briefly talk about it, but I want to talk about what I lean towards. And if you know my channel well, you know this answer already, but in this video, you're gonna get a full, pretty much description of why I feel that way. If you don't know my channel, I don't lean Democratic or Republican. I lean both, kind of, in a way. It depends on who's running, and it goes with Canadian. I'm a Canadian, so it goes Canadian well, like conservative or liberal. It depends on who's running. Or we have an NDP, which is liberal, but it's a little more, I guess, conservative than liberal, but still pretty liberal. I voted NDP sometimes, I have voted conservative sometimes, and I voted liberal sometimes. It depends on who's running, and it depends on what they're going to do for the country and just who they are as people and stuff. So I don't take a side. Like, there's a lot of people during election time in Canada, they put their signs up for conservatives. They put the blue conservatives, the red for the liberals, and the yellows for the NDP and stuff. And then you got your stupid parties like Green Party that no one votes for. But it just depends. It depends. I was not a Stephen Harper fan, so I didn't like him as a conservative. But I'm also not the hugest Justin Trudeau fan, so I'm not a huge liberal guy either. Even though Justin Trudeau has done very well, so far this year, he's done very well. Oh, 2020, sorry. He did very well in 2020 and how he handled the pandemic, and I respect him for that. Just everything else before that, I didn't like what he did. Yes, our premier, Dougie Ford. I love him. He's conservative. He's a lot better than his brother Rob Ford, the crackhead. He's conservative, again, like I said, and I'd vote for him if he ever ran for like prime minister and stuff because I like him. I like Ford. I like how he handles a lot of situations and stuff. Personally, that's just me. But a lot of people talk about American politics. That is the biggest political thing that is going on right now. And they got all the shit going on, and then it like kind of makes its way to Canada, so we talk about it too and shit like that. So I don't lean Republican or Democrat. And there's reasons for that, because anytime I try to lean one side, that side I'm leaning towards does something ridiculous and does something so stupid. I'm like, what are they doing? I'm like, I can't go with them then. And then I'm like, okay, I'll go to this side. And then the other side does something ridiculous and stupid. I'm like, oh my fucking Christ. Can any fucking party be consistently good? That's politics for you. The answer is no, they can't. They fucking can't. I think what happened days ago, I'm saying days ago from now, but I don't know when I'm putting this video out, so maybe a week ago, but days ago for me. A bunch of Trump supporters stormed the Capitol. They were looking for Mike Pence, the vice president, and all these people, Senate, everybody. And I don't know what they were going to do, but they stormed the Capitol. Police were involved. A couple people got killed, and a lot of people going to jail for it, and it was pretty fucking crazy, man. It was pretty fucking nuts, man. And I'm like, what the fuck are they doing? Really stupid shit they were doing, man. And I'm like, wow. There's been a lot of speculation going on and controversies about like fraud, voter fraud and stuff. And for me personally, I think it's absolute nonsense. I don't think there's any voter fraud. I think Republicans, as much as I really respect some Republicans, I think they're pulling strings out of nothing. Like, they have no real evidence that there is voter fraud. So it's super hard to understand what they're coming from. I don't understand it. Just take your fucking losses, and Joe Biden won. Like, I don't like Joe Biden. I don't like him. I can't stand him. And I can't stand Kamala Harris. I don't like them as Democrats. I was more of an Andrew Yang, Tulsi Gabbard fan for Democratic Party. But if they won, they won. Like, you gotta suck it up. And, like, you just gotta fucking deal with it. Like I don't love it, but you gotta fucking deal with it and stuff. And am I a Trump lover? No fucking way I'm not. I am not a Trump supporter, and I'm not a Trump lover. Am I a Trump hater? No. I think what he did a few days ago almost made me a Trump hater. I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with you, you stupid idiot? I'm all for freedom of speech. There's a difference between freedom of speech and then what did they call it? Inciting violence is something different. I believe your speech should be protected by the amendment. I do believe you should have freedom of speech, even if it's bad and hateful. I'm not for hateful speech. I'm not for that. I think people who do hateful speech get the shit kicked out of them. But I don't think you should get prosecuted or go to jail or anything like that. I still think you're still protected over the amendment. You're a scumbag, but you're still protected by freedom of speech. I'm all for freedom of speech. But if you have words that are getting people to do violent things, that's beyond speech then. That means it's almost kind of like when you slander someone. You're destroying someone's life of false bullshit. And he's doing that, Trump. He's spreading a lot of bullshit. Like, some of it, maybe he's onto something. Maybe, like, okay, maybe he is right about that. And maybe he's right about this. But the way he's handling it, the way he's saying crap, it's not good. I'm trying to play both sides here because I'm not Republican or Democratic. So I don't want to be this crazy left-winger saying, oh, fuck all those Republicans and Trump supporters. They all are stupid, racist, bigots, motherfuckers. I don't want to do that because I don't think that's true. Because there's a lot of Blacks, Latinos, and Asians who are Trump supporters. And like, okay, are they white supremacists? Like, that doesn't make any sense. So I can't call Trump supporters all those words. But these Trump supporters that stormed the Capitol are fucking idiots. And what they did is beyond shameful. And Trump enabling it did not help. Yeah, he apologized for it, but it's a little late and stuff. So I understand why Vice President Mike Pence is incredibly pissed off about him. He's pissed at him. Understandably. Very understandably. Very, very, very much. So, I don't know. I just say deal with it, people. Joe Biden's the president. If he does a shitty job, which I think he will be doing a shitty job, just deal with it. And in 4 years, we'll have another presidential race, and maybe we'll get a good Republican. Or a good Democrat. Like, I don't know. Maybe. Like, maybe a good Democrat. I hope Tulsi Gabbard does it again. Tulsi Gabbard is literally my favorite Democrat. Like, I really I wanted her to win the Democratic race, even though she had no chance in hell of winning. But when Kamala Harris lost, and she went out, I'm like, yeah, the worst one is gone. Then Elizabeth Warren was the next worst one. And then Joe Biden was the third worst one for me. And, of course, the two out of the three I hated the most out of the Democrats are our president and vice president. Again, Andrew Yang, come on, man. Those are my favorites. And I like Republicans, like Senator McCain, I loved. And even past presidents, like Republicans, like I loved Calvin Coolidge, Ronald Reagan, Abraham Lincoln's a Republican. He's the greatest president ever lived, man. And I like some Democrats too, man. Like Teddy Roosevelt and shit like that. Like I love Republicans, Democrats. Like it depends on the leader and shit. Like I'm not a Obama lover. I don't think Obama was an amazing president, and I don't think Donald Trump is an amazing president. I don't think Joe Biden is going to be an amazing president. I don't think Bill Clinton was an amazing president. I don't think George Bush was by no means an amazing president. So there's a lot of presidents. I always critique a president. And just because if I lean Democrat, I feel like if you're Democratic, you should still criticize your Democratic president. And same with your Republican. You can't just always beat them off, man. Like, come on, like, oh, I'm Republican. So if they're Republican, they're fucking amazing. If they're Democratic, they're fucking amazing. I'm like, just because you lean left or lean right, you could still criticize your president, man. Like, you have every right as an American to do that. Like, if they're doing stupid shit and shady shit, like, call them out on it, man. Like, but yeah, that shit at the Capitol, ridiculous. Shit should have never fucking happened. It was bullshit. And I'm glad those people were going to jail and shit like that. And ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous people. So why don't I lean? What are all the reasons why I don't lean Democrat? That's probably the biggest question a lot of people would probably ask me, because most people seem to lean left-wing Democrat. A lot of people do. They like that progressive ideologies and political stance. So why don't I lean straight left-wing? Simple. I don't like their policies. I hate that they raise taxes a lot, and I hate that they pander certain people. And I'm not all for modern feminism, and they fucking sure as hell pander to the modern feminism, which is absolutely irritating. They pander to people that don't need to be pandered. They should be pandering to the whole country. They should be worried about the whole country, not certain demographics and stuff. And they say a lot of dumb shit. I'm not gonna repeat the dumb shit because this video will get demonetized, some of the dumb shit they've said, but they have said some fucking weird shit, and I'm like, okay. And a lot of people call Republican leaders racists, but there's a lot of Democrat leaders that are just as racist and just as offensive and idiotic as they are. And that's why it was very rough watching this political race between Trump and Biden. There's like two old idiots talking and yelling at each other. I'm like, oh my God, who is more dumber talking, Trump or Biden? They're both so stupid. They're both idiotic. Like, if I was in the United States, if I lived in the United States, I wouldn't have been able to vote, really. I don't know. Like, it's just so difficult. Like, what do I vote for? Like, I don't like either one of them. So, I don't know. It's crazy. And, see, it was easy for me to vote Trudeau again. You know, I don't like Trudeau, but the last election I voted Trudeau because I hated Andrew Scheer as conservative. I hated him, and I didn't agree with a lot of things Singh was doing for the NDP. So I'm just like, I'm gonna vote Trudeau, I guess. So I voted Trudeau for Liberal. And I didn't want to. Please, Ford, go for Prime Minister. But yeah, I can't stand by their ideologies, Democrats. And they're all for defunding the police, and I don't agree with that. My brother's a cop. A lot of family members are cops. Not all cops are assholes and racists and beat up people. That's just what the news and the media tells you and stuff. And that's another thing I hate a lot of Democrats, because all the media outlets are all left-wing Democratic. And all they do is try to shit on right-wing conservatives. That is their job. All these media outlets is just to shit on everything that's conservative. So just like, except Fox News, but I hate Fox News too. Like, I don't like them either. So it's very difficult to side with them, and they support like SJW bullshit and stuff like that. I can't support a lot of things they say, and the shit that comes out of their mouth. I'm like, oh my God, give me a fucking break. Like, so you would think like I'd lean more Republican because they don't bullshit things. And I respect the Republicans like that. They don't fuck around. They don't bullshit. They say what they mean, and a lot of people call them all these names and stuff, even though it's not what they are, but they say what they gotta say. They don't fucking sugarcoat it. They just say it, man. I kind of love it. they also they also shit on modern feminists and SJWs, and can't but love them for that. And there's just really intelligent people who are like conservatives and stuff, like who I like Ben Shapiro and Steven Crowder. I like them. But again, there's a lot of liberals that are very intelligent. I love Bill Maher. I think he's a very smart guy and stuff. So there's I don't know. It's very hard. Anytime I try to pick a side, the side that I pick, that I'm almost going to pick, does something ridiculous. I literally thought by the end of this year, I really thought, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, I was going straight, like, almost right-wing conservative. It really was. I'll be honest with you. But the shit at the Capitol really changed it. I'm like, yep, nope. And again, I'm Canadian, so that doesn't really hit me that well. Like, I can't vote for a president. I'm a Canadian citizen. But I was agreeing with a lot of what Republicans were saying in the past 2020. Not everything, but quite a few things. I'm like, man, they're right about a lot of things. But then the shit happened at the Capitol, and I'm like, well, you just lost my fucking respect right there, man. Like, you just lost my respect. Idiots. And even how the Republicans are, how they're, like, treating this Capitol thing, and they're just like, it's not that bad. The stuff at the Black Lives Matter was just as worse. And I'm like, they're not wrong, because a lot of the riots that happened throughout the summer were very extreme and really disruptive, and a lot of people lost their lives and their businesses, and there was a lot of like Antifa members blowing fucking buildings up, and those people are scumbags, obviously, but you're doing the same thing though. You're doing the same thing, like, oh, they did it, so now we could do it. Like, no, that's not how it works. It's like saying, oh, that guy's an asshole, so now I'm gonna go be an asshole because, well, he's being an asshole. Like, no, that's not how it works. I feel like no party, whether it's Democrat or Republican, knows how to be the bigger person. No one knows how to be a bigger. It's all like it's a childish game. Like, oh, this is what they did. Oh, this is what they did. Oh, they're this, they're that. They're like a bunch of fucking kids. Like, he's a stinker. He's a poop head. Like, it's ridiculous. It's like a fucking playground with these two parties. Oh my God, they need like a third party. Oh God, I don't know. Like, yeah, create a third party called the Constitution. Like, people stand for the Constitution. That's it. Like, not Republicans. I don't know. It's so hard to go into so much detail because you don't know what's going on half the fucking time. And I understand both sides, though. I understand when someone tells me they lean Democratic. I get it. I understand why you lean Democratic. I 100% get it. And they say, I hate Trump, he's a piece of shit. I'm like, I understand you. 100% get it. I understand. Then when someone says Republican, they're right-wing and they're conservative, I get that too. I understand why you get it. I understand why you lean right-wing and conservative. I am not a guy to judge anyone's parties, whether they're right or left-wing. I can criticize both sides, and I fucking will. But I will never say I am on this side or this side. I lean center, and when there's a war or a battle between the two of them, I will go with the other side that makes the most sense. Like I watched the Trump-Biden debate, and I'm like, hey, Biden made a good point there. Hey, Trump made a good point there. Hey, Biden made a good point. Now Trump made a good point. Oh, now they're both not making sense. That was the whole debate for me. So, I don't lean either way. The biggest reason why it's just none of them can be just normal, and none of them can. They're both contradictory. They both contradict themselves. They say one thing, and then they do the other thing after, and it's almost like both parties is like a huge dick measuring contest. Like, oh, look what we did. They didn't do it. Look what we did. They didn't do it. Like, it's irritating. That's why I can't lean Democratic or Republican. But I respect both sides. Like, if you lean Democratic or Republican, nice. I'm friends with many conservatives and many liberals. Like, I'm friends with both sides. I understand both sides. But I will call each side out when they do something stupid. Like on the Capitol, I called all the Republicans out. I'm like, that shit was fucked up. And then anytime there was Antifa shit, Democrats, that's fucked up. Anytime Trump said something stupid, which was a lot, I'm like, conservatives, it's fucked up. Anytime Biden says something stupid, again, which is a lot, Democrats, liberals, stupid. So that's why there's no consistencies with both sides. And I'm a person who loves consistency. And when I vote, let's say Canadian, because I'm a Canadian, I vote for the leader, not for the party. It's not about the parties for me. It's about who's running, who I believe can actually do something, whether they're liberal, conservative, or something like that. It's who I think is the better choice. I don't go for the party. I go for the person. Simple as that. So all my Republican and Democratic subscribers of mine, it's the beauty thing about the JayVaters channel, I accept all of you. You centrists like me out there, you Republicans, left-wingers, right-wingers, all you guys, love all you guys. Be nice to each other, be respectful, and let's enjoy 2021. Take care, guys. Join the dark side.